This is Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony on FM 92.7 and AM 1400. The Answer.
Good morning, Detroit. Man, that scared the heck out of me. I didn't have the feed on. I just literally jumped when the music came on. Welcome back to Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony. Woo, that scared me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was looking for this email that I continuously get in my Google account from Facebook requesting that I join some special group that's in Facebook. Now it has the Facebook logo. It looks like real. And one day I was getting ready to click on it, and then I was like, wait a minute, I bet not trust that. So I went and I searched up the name on Facebook. Lo and behold, nothing's there. You know, that's what this morning's conversation is going to be about. Because today's conversation matters because it cuts straight into something most Americans still do without thinking twice. How many of you trust your phones? You pick up your phone, you get an email, you see things, and you just click on it. I had a pastor friend send me something one day. Come to find out, I clicked it. He was asking all of us to come to an event for him. And then next thing you know, I see on Facebook he was hacked. And I had already clicked on the email, though. Yeah, we trust our phones. We trust those alerts. That's why I don't get any alerts on my phone. We trust messages that carry the Google logo, the Apple name, or what appears to be like this official system warning telling us our account is compromised or action is required immediately. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Federal cyber agencies are warning that even messages that look official, messages that appear to come directly from Google, Apple, Facebook, guess what, guys? They may be, in fact, sophisticated hacks designed to steal your identity, your credentials, or your access to critical systems. This is not theoretical. This is happening right now. To help us understand what is really going on and what people should be doing differently, I am joined by Chris Hoar. Hoar, I hope I'm saying that name right. Oops. He'll correct me, I'm sure. Official spokesperson for SAT 123, one of the leading providers of satellite communication and emergency preparedness solutions. Chris brings decades of experience in telecom, advanced technology, and business development. He operates at the intersection of secure communications, off-grid resilience, and real-world threat environments. This is not abstract cybersecurity talk. This is about how communications work when trust breaks down, when networks are compromised, and when people can no longer assume that what appears legitimate actually is. Chris, thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure, John. Thanks for having me on.
Please enunciate your last name for me.
It's Hoar.
Oh!
As in whorehouse.
You said it, not me, Chris. But let's start here. So when federal cyber agencies warn that even those official-looking Google or Apple messages could be hacks, what does that tell us about how advanced this modern phishing and spoofing attacks have become?
Well, unfortunately, they're really taking over, and anyone who's got a phone or an email account will be familiar with these kind of messages. You know, they are coming thick and fast, and they rely on us trusting what we see. And back in the day, you could do that. But these days, especially with the rise of AI and all of this, you've got to be extremely careful what you click on. And you've got to think, does it make sense? You know, is this company asking, why is the company that gave me my password asking me for my password?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah. I was going to tell, my next question was going to be, can you help us understand this? No, I'm going to ask the question. Help us understand this technically without getting lost in jargon. How are these attackers able to convincingly impersonate these trusted platforms like Facebook, Apple, or Google at the message level?
Well, look, it's very easy to recreate the look and feel of an email that you would get or message you would get from Facebook or Google. Again, using AI, it's so simple now. So when you open up that message and you just see a logo, don't believe it. Anyone can upload that logo and then send you the message. You know, again, you have to think before you click. It's so simple for these companies to send you this message and then for you to trust it based on what you are seeing. But you have to look beyond that. Look at the URL if there is one. Why does it say Google dot, customer dot something dot something? Anyone can register a URL that has the name Google or Apple in it, but it probably has other things in it as well, or it might be misspelled. So you just have to be extremely, extremely cautious.
Chris, help us understand when someone receives one of these messages, what is actually happening behind the scenes if they click respond or if they comply?
Well, when you click that link, what happens is malware is typically downloaded onto your phone or your computer, and that malware can then be used to access your phone or computer to grab all of the information that you have on your desktop, in your files, your bank account info, social security number, all of this kind of stuff. That's what they're really looking to do. And what's more ominous is now the latest trend is you will get a message with your, saying that you asked to reset your password, and it might give you something. And then you will get a phone call as soon as you get that message, and it'll be like, hey, this is Bob from Google, just want to make sure you give me that number you got in your email. Look, these companies don't call you, but they kind of catch you off guard. It kind of makes sense in your mind, right? You just got a message from Apple, and then Apple is calling you. But again, these companies will never call you, and they'll certainly never ask you to give you information that they just sent you. It doesn't make sense.
So, Chris, at what point does convenience become the enemy of security in modern communication systems?
I think we're already there, mate. I mean, we're so used to opening messages, to opening emails, to clicking on links, we don't even think about it. And that might have been fine a few years ago, but now, again, every time you click on a file that's on your phone or on your laptop, understand that action can then trigger all these other actions, and all of those are designed to install viruses and malware on your device.
So SAT 123 focuses heavily on emergency preparedness and resilient communications, right? So here's my question. What happens if these spoofed official messages start appearing during real emergencies, such as natural disasters, grid failures, or public safety events?
Well, yeah, look, I mean, there are the agencies, whether local, state, or federal, do send out messages, of course, like that. What we focus on is when these cyber attacks really hit. And earlier this year, we saw an entire country, the country of Spain, taken offline by what we believe was a cyber attack. The power grid went down, the cell towers went down, and then we're all in the dark. I mean, look, if you leave the house in the morning without your cell phone, the first thing you do is turn around and go back and get it, right? Yeah. We're totally dependent on this kind of communication. But what happens when your cell phone just doesn't work? That's where we come in. We provide free satellite phones with activation. We're the only ones who do that at sat123.com. And satellite phones work when cell towers go down, when they don't. Look, if you've been in a natural disaster, whether it's an ice storm or a hurricane or anything, or wildfires, anything like that, you'll know that cell phones stop working because the towers are down and the power grid goes down. And that's why satellite phones are so essential.
Well, you talked about that, but, a lot of people assume that these satellite or these off-grid communications are immune from these threats. Is that assumption accurate?
They're certainly a lot more immune than anything that relies on ground-based infrastructure. So again, if your cell phone only works if it's near an operating cell tower, and that cell tower only works if the power grid is working. If the power grid goes down, everything below that goes down, and you're literally in a blackout situation. So again, satellite communications, from satellite phones to satellite internet units, make sure that you can stay connected when everyone else is offline.
So because when you look at on the social media platforms, does it mean that you've been compromised when you start getting a lot of these messages in your social media accounts requesting all type of information and things? Does that mean you've been compromised? And if you have, what can somebody do if they think their phone has been compromised?
Well, obviously, you want to keep up to date on your security settings. You want to run your antivirus software on your phones and your laptops kind of regularly. But the sad reality is that pretty much if you have an email address, then that email address has been exposed in some kind of data breach. So pretty much everyone is constantly subject to getting these attacks. Yeah, look, on social media platforms, if you start getting messages from a friend of yours asking for money or asking you to do something that seems out of character, you can pretty much assume that person has been hacked, and you want to ignore that message and then give that person a text or a call and say, hey, you may want to check your Facebook account or whatever. We've all seen these. It happens every single day.
I know those verification, those two-step verification or authentication. I mean, they are laborious. Should people start using those two-step verifications? That way, does that protect them more or less?
It does give you more protection, because, again, if you want to log on, especially from a new device, you'll get a message to your phone. Now, that is, much better than not having two-step verification. I know it's a pain, but you type in the 6 digits and you're away. But this is what hackers are also taking advantage of, because anyone can trigger a lost password notification. It doesn't, I could do it for you, right? But you would get the message to your phone. Yeah. And that's what's happening now is then the hackers are calling your phone saying, hey, it's Bill from Apple, and I just need that 6-digit code. When it comes up on your phone or your laptop and it says that the caller is calling from a certain company, don't believe it. It is so easy to make it look like, I can send you a message and make it look like it's coming from the White House, but I'm not the White House, right? But don't believe everything you read just because it says so on your phone or your laptop.
Chris Hoar, are there any emerging technologies or practices that give you confidence that these secure communications can regain ground against these threats?
Well, yes, certainly. I mean, the slow emergence of Web3, is going to help where we have a much more protected ecosystem on our phone or on our laptop. But, we're really not there yet. Unfortunately, there's no simple answer to this. The best defense from this is using your common sense. Again, why would a company that gave you a password be calling you to ask you for that password? I mean, that's the number one thing. Yeah. And make sure your password, by the way, is not password.
or Louvre, the Louvre. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Your password for the Louvre is Louvre. Are you?
Yeah.
How asinine and insane that is.
Well, it sounds insane, right? And it is, but in a recent survey of passwords hacked on the dark web, about 40% of them were either password or 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
and look, I understand it's annoying. You forget what it is, but it does make a difference. But two-step verification can certainly help you protect from this kind of attack.
And don't believe that some crown prince left you some money too, right?
Oh, no, he did, and I should be getting that tomorrow, mate. So I'll let you know how much it is at the end. But it's been going on for how many years now?
Oh my goodness! I'm related to so many crown. I really am by blood. My family. I just found this out by doing my ancestry, but my family, the Yorks, are descendants of the throne, and multiple thrones. Because Norwegian kings, British, French kings. I found this out 5 years ago now, maybe. So maybe I probably do got some money. Maybe I need to click on one of those.
Well, I'm related to a long line of British whores, and we served the monarchy. But that's about as close as I get.
Okay. I caught that. Chris Hoar, Sat123. Where can people find? I caught that, Chris. Where can people find you?
They can get us at sat123.com, get a free satellite phone with activation. We get it, ship it out to you in time for Christmas, or call us at 941-841-0844.
Wait, how much is the satellite phone? I may need one of those, Paul.
They're actually free with activation with anyone who do it anywhere else in the country. You're going to pay $1,000 to $2,000 just for the phone, and then you're going to have to activate it. But we have always done the free satellite phone with activation. So
nice.
Check out sat123.com today, mate.
All right, Chris Hoar from the Line of Kings. Thank you so much for joining us on Detroit's
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Guess I got to go to break. I should be more professional than this. We'll be right back.